welcome to State of Business on our television. I'm Ashinsani Veerasinghe. Let's have a look at the headlines for today.
Cabinet of Ministers decides a special presidential commission to assess some completed and ongoing investigations by the Bribery Commission, FCID and State Intelligence Unit. Central Bank warns of money lending.
News in detail. State Minister of Information and Communication Technology Lakshman Abewardena says the government has decided to prohibit the re-export of several key spices and some products from Sri Lanka with immediate effect. State Minister Abewardena also said Cabinet of Ministers decided a special presidential commission to assess some completed and ongoing investigations by the Bribery Commission, FCID and State Intelligence Unit. The Ministry of Finance issuing a release said no approval will be granted under the Finance Act Commercial Hub regulations of Sri Lanka to engage in provision of logistics services to any re-export business or transshipment related to key local spices and allied products. The ministry's release also said that the re-export of garbage, processing of garbage or recourse recycling business will also be prohibited following a cabinet decision. Meanwhile, State Minister of Information and Communication Technology Lakshman Abewardena, addressing a media briefing in Colombo, said that re-export of pepper, areca nut, nutmeg, tamarind, cinnamon, clove, ginger, turmeric and cardamom will be barred with immediate effect. State Minister also added that a number of employees at the public and semi-government sectors had to undergo numerous hardships and disturbances under the previous government. He stressed that employees from almost all the sectors, including judiciary and police, also had undergone unexpected difficulties while discharging their duties. State Minister Abewardena also noted that the Cabinet of Ministers also approved to assess already completed or ongoing investigations by the Bribery Commission, FCID and the State Intelligence Unit via a special presidential commission of inquiry soon. Central Bank announces that it has taken measures with the Ministry of Finance to draft a law for licensing, regulation and supervision of money lenders and protection of customers. Issuing a statement today, the Central Bank said that the said law is currently in the drafting process and is expected to be enacted in the near future. Central Bank in its statement said that it has observed that advertisements and other forms of communications are made through various channels including print, electronic and digital media offering loans. It also adds that numerous complaints have been made on regarding scams, high interest rates, harassment to customers and misusing of confidential customer information by such money lenders. Central Bank clarifies that as per the existing legal framework, money lenders do not come under a licensing and regulatory regime unless they accept deposits and therefore CBSL with the Ministry of Finance will draft a law for licensing, regulation and supervision of money lenders and protection of customers. In view of these observations, the public is advised to exercise due diligence and care to avoid becoming victims of the scams operating in the guise of money lending businesses. The public should obtain full information before entering into an agreement for a financial transaction, and it also advises to rely only on regulated entities when entering into financial transactions. Central Bank also stresses that the clients should inquire the legal status of the money lender, the name, registered address, location of branches and the legal form of the money lender and all necessary details relating to the loan. Further, Central Bank also reminds you not to provide your personal information, especially bank account related information, unless you have clearly identified the party that you are intending to transact with. It further adds that not to sign any document if you cannot read or understand, not to enter into an agreement hastily without taking enough time to study, think and take an informed decision. Critically responding to the temporary abolishment of permits in transporting soil, sand and granite, the Frontline Socialist Party claims that the measure is executed to carry on the illegal sand mining of the prominent figures of the country. Addressing a media briefing in Colombo yesterday, FLSP Politburo member Puputhu Jayagoda also voiced serious accusations on responsible authorities pertaining to the recent landslide in Malapattava area in Valapane. Speaking at the media briefing, Frontline Socialist Party's Pubutu Jagru says that the recent landslide that occurred in Malapattava area in Walapane, close to a metal quarry, is not a mere natural disaster. He claims that the situation had been aggravated to a landslide because of a metal quarry in Malapattava area, which had been named as high-risk area for landslides. Thus, the Frontline Socialist Party questions as to how the license was given for the stone quarry in an area which was named as risk-prone to landslides. He further claims that the National Building Research Organization had later withdrawn the warning issued to the area. Hence, the FLSP stated that there is political interference over this tragedy and that this is a crime and not a natural accident. They also emphasized that the illegal sand mining is mainly discovered during the transportation process and hence there is no point in further strengthening the land mining permit.
ඒකෝ නීතිය අහෝසි කරාට පස්සේ වෙන එක තමයි වැලි ගොඩ දැමීමට අදාළ සියලු සීමා අහෝසි වෙනවා.
When the permit for transporting granite, soil and sand is cancelled, it encourages the illegal sand mining. Thus, anyone can transport sand, soil. Police will not check it. Then it will aggravate the environmental issue. These decisions are not taken for the benefit of the industry, but to ease the illegal and nefarious activities of the politicians. For example, at the moment, a pile of sand mined illegally is stocked at Suryapura since it cannot be transported. That illegal sand mining was done by a prominent politician of that area and it is a known fact. Hence, it is questionable whether this abolishment of permits is giving an indirect assistance to carry on the illegal sand mining by the politicians. On the other hand, in terms of the environmental damage, since sand and soil can be transported freely, the excessive sand mining will destroy the riverbeds.
මේ විදිහට වැලි ගොඩ දාද්දි එකක් ගඟවල වල ඉවුරු කඩාගෙන යනවා. ඒක විසින් වැසි කාලවලදී ප්‍රශ්න එනවා.
The 11th edition of Jaffna International Trade Fair will take place from 24th to 26th January next year at Muttaraveli grounds in Jaffna. This was announced at a media briefing held in Colombo recently. Jaffna International Trade Fair 2020 is set to see crowds exceeding 65,000 with about 300 stalls and is organized by Lanka Exhibition and Conference Services Private Limited in association with the Chamber of Commerce and Industries of Yalpanam with the support of the Jaffna Municipal Council, International Business Council, the Ministry of Industry and Commerce and the Consulate General of India in Jaffna. The event was relaunched in the year 2010 with over 50 stalls at Jaffna Central College and today it features to be the most awaited fair to be held in the north, providing the opportunity for small and medium entrepreneurs to introduce their products and services for the northern communities to be exposed to a range of products and services from elsewhere in the island. Thus, the next year Jaffna International Trade Fair will feature trade stalls, live evening musical shows, motorbike stunt shows, hourly raffle draws with exciting gifts, an amusement park with children's play area, hawker-type special food court area and a range of seminars and workshops. The event is known to be a multi-trade fair featuring agriculture, hospitality, education, fashion and food industries with many northern hotels going on full occupancy while other services such as transport and logistical services also seeing a rapid growth during the period.
Over the last 11 years, we've been very successful in bringing in more than 300 companies for the 2020 show, which we are attracting. Also, apart from that, we're also bringing in foreign exhibitors coming down from India, China, Indonesia, Malaysia. So you have all the products and services what you find in the rest of Sri Lanka on offer at the 11th Jaffna International Trade Fair. And we've been also successful very much in bringing the whole of Jaffna to visit the exhibition and our stats. By far, this has been one of the most successful shows in the northern region, and I would say this is the only multinational trade fair, multi-trade exhibition in the north.
Stay tuned for more news after this short break. Welcome back after the break. An art and craft exhibition by the differently abled soldiers will be held at the Colombo Aesthetic University on the 12th and 13th of this month to exhibit the talents of the injured war heroes at the Army's rehabilitation and welfare centers such as Ranaviru Sevana, Abimansala and Mihindu Seth Madura. This art and craft exhibition is executed according to a concept of the Commander of Army and guidance of Adjutant General together with the Directorate of Rehabilitation. Its inauguration ceremony will be held on December 12th at 6:30 p.m. with Army Commander Lieutenant General Chavendra Silva attending as the chief guest. The entrance is free of charge and will be open to the public on 13th December from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. The exhibition includes 34 woodcraft items, 172 paintings, 203 handicrafts, 15 sculptures and 23 miscellaneous items.
The art and craft exhibition organized by the Sri Lanka Army for differently abled war heroes will be held on 12th of December of this month and then on 13th December, and it will be open for all the public. And this is the aim actually to bring out the talents and the performances of the all differently able soldiers of the Sri Lanka Army.
In celebration with the 60th anniversary, Atlas Auxilia has launched the SIPP Service Scholarship Program for underprivileged children in partnership with the Department of Probation and Child Care Services of the Ministry of Women and Child Affairs and Social Security. This was announced at a media briefing held in BMICH yesterday. Thus, the Memorandum of Understanding to initiate this partnership was recently signed by the Managing Director of Atlas Auxilia Company, Asitha Samaravira, and Commissioner of the Department of Probation and Child Care Services at Ministry of Women and Child Affairs and Social Security, Chandima Sigera. Addressing the issue of absenteeism from schools and its impact, Commissioner of the Department of Probation and Child Care Services, Chandima Sigera noted, ensuring that all children in Sri Lanka receives an uninterrupted secondary education is vital for the progress of our nation and our ability to achieve the sustainable development goals identified by the United Nations. Yet, she further says, as per the activity survey conducted by the Department of Census and Statistics, more than 22,000 children between the age of 5 to 17 are dropped out from school in 2016 alone. Thus, Managing Director of Atlas Auxilia Company, Asitha Samaravira, gave further clarifications on this provision.
Through the SIPP survey initiative, we will be financially assisting 200 children from grade 6 to 11. Who are at the risk of dropping out of school due to extreme hardships such as being orphaned or having been the child of a single parent household. The scholarships will continue to support the 200 children until they sit for the GCC O-level exam and will be awarded for a period of 5 years. These 200 students will be selected through a committee comprising of representatives of the Ministry of Health, Women and Child Affairs, the Department of Probation and Child Care Services, and one representative from Atlas. Selection will be based on data and information compiled by the department, with priority being given to students more vulnerable to dropping out of school due to loss of one or both parents.
Commissioner General of Inland Revenue Department Nadun Guruge stresses that people will receive benefits from the recent tax concessions within the next 2 or 3 months. Commissioner General Guruge made these observations at a news briefing yesterday. The new caretaker government had announced a heap of tax concessions which included the annulment of national building tax, capital gain tax, withholding tax and the reduction of VAT to 8% from 15%. Inland Revenue Commissioner General Nadun Guruge said the benefits of the tax reliefs should reach the people from December 1st. But according to certain economic theories, the benefits will take considerable time to reach the people. People should keep in mind about tax reliefs. They should be keen on it when buying things from markets, the Commissioner further said. This government reduced direct and indirect taxes to develop the country by improving investments, the Commissioner added. Now, a detailed analysis of the review on the stock performances for the past week and a stock forecast for the coming week will be brought to you by a subject expert at First Capital Holdings.
On Monday, we witnessed a peak with the benchmark index closing at a high of 6,215 on the back of the positive momentum of the tax cuts announced in the previous week. Thereafter, a slowdown was witnessed in the following days. Notably, on Thursday, recorded the highest volume for the week, over Rs 1 billion. Foreign selling was centered around the big cap counter, Commercial Bank. The tax cuts will favor companies across the board, invariably resulting in the rise in consumer demand. In the short to medium term, we expect this positivity to flow into the consumer-related counters. In addition, with the recent spike in the market, we expect to see profit-taking on selected counters in the coming weeks.
Stay tuned for stock updates after this short break. Welcome back after the break. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a mixed note today. The all-share price index dropped 11.31 points to close at 6,149.57, and the S&P SL20 gained 0.41 points to close at 3,000.43. The turnover was 404 million rupees and over 29 million shares were traded. Up next are Forex rates. That's all the news for today. Join us tomorrow with Biz Roundup. Until then, take care.